There's someone in your life who never raises their voice, never argues back, yet you can't influence them. They don't debate, they don't defend, they simply exist on their own terms, and it's impossible to move them. These people possess something rare: psychological immunity to manipulation. Their power isn't loud or aggressive. It's silent, strategic, and rooted in specific behaviors that psychology can now explain. I'm revealing 7 silent behaviors that make someone psychologically unmanipulatable. The comfortable silence. Most people panic when conversation stops. Someone makes an accusation or waits expectantly, and the average person rushes to fill the void with explanations or apologies they don't owe. People who can't be manipulated refuse to fill uncomfortable silences. Research from the University of Michigan found that whoever speaks first after a difficult question typically loses leverage. Manipulators weaponize awkward pauses because most people have silence anxiety. Psychologically resilient individuals recognize silence as information, not obligation. When someone makes an unreasonable demand and waits, the silence itself becomes manipulation. By refusing to break that silence, you communicate something powerful. You're not operating within their emotional framework. That comfort destabilizes the entire manipulation attempt. This isn't about being stubborn. It's recognizing that you don't owe immediate responses to emotional strategies. But silence is just the beginning, because truly unmanipulatable people also control something most people give away freely: emotional transparency. Manipulators feed on emotional reactions. Your anger or defensiveness gives them data about what affects you. But resilient people do something different. They control their emotional displays. They maintain what psychologists call emotional opacity, feeling emotions fully, but controlling what they reveal. Research in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that individuals with high emotional regulation are significantly less vulnerable to social influence. This doesn't mean suppressing emotions. It means choosing when to express them. There's a crucial difference between feeling angry and showing anger in the moment someone wants you to feel it. Manipulators often provoke reactions deliberately. They'll make inflammatory statements designed to trigger visible upset. Once you're emotionally activated, you're reactive rather than strategic. Psychologically resilient people create space between stimulus and response. They feel the anger, notice the hurt, and then decide whether expressing it serves their interests. This measured emotional expression isn't coldness, it's sophisticated self-awareness. And speaking of self-awareness, people who can't be manipulated also possess an unusual relationship with a concept most people desperately crave: approval and dependence. The foundation of most manipulation is the target's need for approval. Manipulators identify this need and exploit it. Certain people are immune because they don't need your approval. Their sense of worth comes from within, not from external confirmation. Psychologists call this the internal locus of validation. Research from Stanford University found that individuals with strong internal validation are 60% less susceptible to peer pressure and emotional coercion. This doesn't mean they dismiss feedback. It means they evaluate input through their own value system rather than accepting it reflexively. When someone says everyone thinks you're wrong, the approval-dependent person feels pressure to conform. The internally validated person thinks, what do I actually think? Manipulators use approval withdrawal as a weapon. They'll suggest you're disappointing them. This works on people who derive self-concept from external validation. But it fails against people who've separated self-worth from others' opinions. While approval independence protects against manipulation, there's another behavior that's even more powerful: information control. Manipulators require information to craft strategies. The more they know about your fears and pressure points, the more precisely they can manipulate you. But resilient people share information strategically. They understand that information is currency and they spend it carefully. Research in social psychology shows that manipulative individuals excel at strategic questioning, asking seemingly innocent questions to extract useful data. Psychologically resilient people recognize these attempts. When someone asks probing questions about your finances or relationships, they evaluate motives before answering. This isn't paranoia, it's discernment. Manipulators often frame information requests as intimacy building. If you trusted me, you'd tell me. These are tactics designed to make withholding information seem like a failure rather than a boundary. People who can't be manipulated refuse this framing. They share what they choose, when they choose, with people who've earned trust through consistent behavior. But even strategic information control won't protect you if you lack the next crucial behavior: boundary enforcement. Most people apologize when setting boundaries. "I'm sorry, I can't help you because I have plans." The apology signals the boundary is negotiable. People who resist manipulation enforce boundaries without explanation. They state them as facts, not requests for permission. Research from the University of Texas found that boundaries stated without justification are significantly more likely to be respected. Explanations invite debate. "I can't come because I'm tired" becomes, "But you can rest tomorrow." You've opened negotiation. Psychologically strong people say, "I'm not available," and then stop talking. No justification, no apology. This feels uncomfortable because we're socialized to soften boundaries. But manipulators exploit this. They'll question your reasoning or invalidate your explanation. Unmanipulatable people understand that no is a complete sentence. This boundary enforcement connects directly to perhaps the most powerful anti-manipulation behavior of all: consequence acceptance. Manipulators leverage your fear of consequences. "If you don't do this, I'll be angry." They're banking on your unwillingness to accept social discomfort. People who can't be manipulated accept social consequences. They've made peace with potential outcomes. Research in behavioral psychology shows that individuals willing to accept social costs for boundaries are virtually immune to guilt-based manipulation. This doesn't mean they're reckless. It means they've done a calculation. Maintaining integrity is worth potential social friction. When someone threatens consequences like withdrawal of friendship or disappointment, the manipulatable person caves. The unmanipulatable person thinks, "If that's how you respond, that tells me everything." They're willing to lose connections that require self-abandonment. This breaks the manipulation mechanism. You can't threaten someone who's already accepted the worst-case scenario. But there's one final behavior that ties all of these together: reality testing. Manipulators distort reality. They'll claim everyone agrees with them, or "you always do something problematic." These statements are designed to override your perception. Resilient people consistently reality test claims. They compare statements against observable evidence. Research from Yale University found that individuals that fact-check emotional claims show significantly lower susceptibility to gaslighting. When someone says, "You never listen," the manipulatable person feels guilty. The reality tester thinks, "I listened yesterday. I listened last week." This is false. This isn't literalism. It's refusing to accept distorted realities as the basis for decisions. Manipulators need you to accept their version of events. Psychologically resilient people trust their observations even when someone insists those perceptions are wrong. This extends to the manipulator's claims about themselves. "I'm only like this because you make me this way," is tested against evidence. People who can't be manipulated understand that behavior reveals truth more reliably than words. 7 silent behaviors that create psychological immunity to manipulation. These aren't aggressive tactics. They're quiet, internally grounded practices that alter the social dynamics manipulators depend on. You don't fill uncomfortable silences. Emotional displays stay under your control. External approval becomes irrelevant. Information gets shared strategically. Boundaries are enforced without justification. Social consequences are accepted, and claims get reality tested against evidence. These behaviors share a foundation: strong internal locus of control and self-knowledge that can't be shaken by external pressure. Take a moment to identify which behavior you already practice and which you need to develop. Which one do you struggle with the most? Write it below in the comments. I'm genuinely curious to see which patterns emerge. If this video changed how you think about manipulation and psychological resilience, hit that like button and subscribe. Because understanding these behaviors, it isn't just about resisting manipulation. It's about understanding genuine psychological strength.